time for what I'm currently reading / TBR. So the first book that I'm going to mention is the Atlas 6. I don't have the desk jacket on it because when I'm reading a book I don't like to have the desk jacket on it. I've currently misplaced the desk jacket, but this is what it looks like without it. It's about 6 magicians. It's an adult fantasy. There is a steamy part, and I'm on page like 290 or 291, one of these pages, out of 373. So nearly finished with the book. I've liked it. The 6 magicians, they get called to this academy of sorts. 6 of the world's top magicians get invited to this secret exclusive academy, but it comes with a price, and the price may or may not be one of their lives. So the second book is out, and it is the Atlas Paradox, and once I finish this one I plan on picking that one up, and it's by Olivie Blake, which is not the author's real legal name. The author's real name is Alexine Farrell Falmouth. So Olivie Blake was the pen name. Next up in what I'm currently reading, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I am about halfway through. I'm on page 172. I really like it so far. So I had to take a break from the book because I was supposed to be reading with a friend, and I was reading at a faster pace than she was because I literally could not put the book down. I got halfway through in like 2 days. Mind you, I'm in school full time and I work full time. So got through half of the book in 2 days with that kind of schedule taken into mind. And I was also reading 2 other books at the same time and listening to audiobooks also at the same time. It is a romance. The last line of this little synopsis says, "It Ends With Us is an unforgettable tale of love that comes at an ultimate price." That doesn't tell you very much. I'm gonna read the whole thing. Sometimes the one who loves you is the one who hurts you the most. Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that's never stopped her from working hard for the life she wants. She's come a long way from the small town in Maine where she grew up. She graduated from college, moved to Boston, and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Raoul Kincaid, everything in Lily's life suddenly seems almost too good to be true. Raoul is assertive, stubborn, maybe even a little arrogant. He's also sensitive, brilliant, and has a total soft spot for Lily. But Raoul's complete aversion to relationships is disturbing. As questions about her new relationship overwhelm her, so do thoughts of Atlas Corrigan, her first love and a link to the past she left behind. He was her kindred spirit, her protector. When Atlas suddenly reappears, everything Lily has built with Raoul is threatened. With this bold and deeply personal novel, Colleen Hoover delivers a heart-wrenching story that breaks exciting new ground for her as a writer. It Ends With Us is an unforgettable tale of love that comes at the ultimate price. I think as soon as I pick that book back up, because I haven't officially started reading it again, but I will be this week. That book is probably, today is Monday, no, today is Tuesday. We were off yesterday, so that's why I got confused. Today's Tuesday. I'll probably be done with the book by the time this video comes out, because I plan on this video coming out at the end of the week, towards towards the end of the week, Thursday, between the Thursday and Saturday time frame. I'm gonna get a couple of things out to y'all, hopefully. Next, so those are what I'm considering my current reads, and I'm going to really quickly tell you what my current read for my audiobook is. Actually, no, I'm gonna do physical books and then audiobooks at the end. My TBR list is in no particular order because I am low-key indecisive, but these are the main books out of the ones that I own that I plan on reading as soon as possible, because I have a lot of books up here on this shelf that I haven't read or reread that are not in this TBR list for now. So the first book that I'm going to mention is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. It is part of a series, the Court of Thorns and Roses series. The Court of Thorns and Roses, I listened to it via audiobook, the movie In Your Mind version, and I was obsessed. It's a chunky book, and this is book 2 out of, I think, 4 out of 5. So book 3 is A Court of Wings and Ruin. Book 4 is A Court of Frost and Starlight, and book 5 is A Court of Silver Flames. I plan on owning all of them. But yeah, this is book 2, and I am super duper excited to start reading it finally. I hope I fly through it so that I can read book 3, 4, and 5. It is a fantasy, and for someone that listened to the audiobook, I do not remember how to say this name, but I think it's Fire. Hold on, I like saying things correctly. Feyre. I remember now. Feyre and Rhysand. Says Feyre has undergone more trials than one human woman can carry in her heart. Though she's now granted the powers and lifespan of the High Fae, she's haunted by her time under the mountain and the terrible deeds she performed to save the lives of Tamlin and his people. As her marriage to Tamlin approaches, Feyre's hollowness and nightmares consume her. She finds herself split into 2 different people. One who upholds her bargain with Rhysand, High Lord of the feared Night Court, and one who lives out her life in the Spring Court with Tamlin. While Feyre navigates a dark web of politics, passion, and dazzling power, a greater evil looms. She might just be the key to stopping it, but only if she can harness her harrowing gift, heal her fractured soul, and decide how she wishes to shape her future and the future of a world in turmoil. I cannot wait. I might just start reading it today after that. I don't know. Even though I have over 100 pages left of one book and nearly 100 pages left in another book. Next up in my TBR, Beast of Ruin. This is book 2 to Beast of Prey. Beast of Prey is the book that started me back reading this year. I used to love reading a ton in middle school and high school. Was a major bookworm. Really all my life yeah. I think I could start reading. I started reading, being able to recognize words when I was like 3. So I've always been a bookworm. But high school kind of started ruining books for me because people started telling me what to read. Started having other stuff to read for school. So my time and my passion for reading kind of like dwindled. But I decided this year to pick up a book and read it. This is book 2 by Ayana Gray. I'm super excited about it. Beast of Prey was about 2 teenagers, ancestors, all of that. I am not gonna read the synopsis because I think the synopsis to this book might give away some things in the first book, but I really like the book, the first one, and it's following the same 2 teenagers from before. It has a map. Books with maps in them have never failed me, and this map is purple. Like, come on, seriously. The names of the characters, I don't know if you like notice the cover, they're black. The characters are black, so it was really refreshing. My first book being like detailed. The first book that I read of the year had black characters in it. The descriptions of them was like curly hair, like kinky hair, like a high-low. They had fades, I think, and I think some of them had locks, and I was like, this is refreshing. It was my first ever fantasy that I read with black characters, so I was like, I was eating it up. I loved it. And the names are like pretty like Kofi, Econ. The names of the region, the Zamani region, Ashoza, Baridi, Dahau, Chini, Kusini, Kusonga. And it's not a real language that she's using, but it's kind of like the essence of some African languages. I really appreciate that. The author is also originally from my home state, and I found that out after I read the book, and that just made me like even more obsessed with the series. Really am excited to also pick that one back up. I flew through the first one, so I anticipate flying through the second book as well. Next up on my TBR is Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. It is kind of a mystery, I think. It ends with us in this book were the 2 books me and my friend were deciding between to read together, and I just ended up picking both of them up. I didn't know very much about this book before because she mentioned it. She picked both of the books, so I didn't know much about either one of them before I picked them up. But the synopsis is that I need some water. I'm over here losing my voice. No one ever just disappears. Ellie Mack was a perfect daughter, and then she was gone. 10 years after Ellie's disappearance, her mother, Laurel Mack, is trying to put her life back together when she meets an unexpectedly charming man in a cafe. Before she knows it, she's meeting Floyd's daughters, and his youngest, Poppy, takes Laurel's breath away because the eerily precocious Poppy is a spitting image of Ellie, you know, her daughter. And now The unanswered questions she's tried so hard to put to rest begin haunting Laurel anew. Where did Ellie go? Did she run away from home as the police have long suspected? Or did something more sinister happen? A haunting page-turner of sheer perfection. Then She Was Gone is a gripping and emotionally resonant tale of one mother's quest to uncover the clues she failed to recognize and finally discover the truth of what happened to her daughter. Is this like a thriller? An acutely observed family drama with bone-chilling suspense. So it's like mystery thriller-ish. Next up is Siege and Storm. It's a Grisha-verse novel, which is part of the Shadow and Bone trilogy. It's book number 2. I just today bought book number 3, so I feel comfortable going ahead and reading this pretty quickly because I know that I have book 3 on deck. Shadow and Bone, the first book, I really like. I've not seen the Netflix series. I didn't know it was on Netflix really until like I think it was in the bookstore or at Walmart, and I saw the little sticker on it that said Netflix. So I was like, oh, cool. I was like, read the synopsis. I was like, okay, I like it. And decided that I'm gonna read the series first and then I'm gonna watch it on Netflix. I am not gonna read the synopsis to this. I just realized I read the synopsis to book 2 of the Court of Thorns and Roses series, and I was like refusing to read the synopsis for the other books of book 2s. But I'll just tell some of the things that you're gonna get in this book. You're gonna get, it's fantasy. You've got the main character is a woman. She's got some powers. There's a romance of, it's a friends to lovers. There's some forbidden magic. She's got a rival. There's a war. She's gotta save her country. All that. Book 1 has like the same elements, but the friends to lovers is more towards the end. This is gonna continue it. You know, this is gonna be more of the lovers part. The next book on my TBR is Graceling by Kristin Cashore. It is book 1 of the Graceling Realm novels. There's 5 books so far. Says Katsa is a Graceling, one of the rare people born with an extreme skill. As niece of the king, she lived a life of privilege until the day her ability to kill a man with her bare hands revealed itself during a royal banquet. Now she acts as her uncle's enforcer, traveling the kingdom and threatening those who dare oppose him. But everything changes when she meets Poe, a foreign prince graced with combat skills, and is searching for the truth about his grandfather's disappearance. When Katsa agrees to help him, she never expects to learn a new truth about her own grace, or about a terrible secret that could destroy them all. So I'm really excited about this book because, one, I think the cover is gorgeous. It's really hard to tell, like the lighting is not my friend in here because the book's glossy. Next up in my TBR is A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Leigh. It's a dark academia, so it's about Felicity and Ellis, and they are digging up information, researching about the Dalloway 5, who some people say were witches. So super excited about that. Think the book is super cute. I like a dark academia, and I don't know, something about this book in my hand just feels right. So this is one of my upcoming reads, hopefully. And last on my physical books TBR, The Deepest of Secrets by Kelley Armstrong. It's a Rocktown novel or Casey Duncan novel. It's book 7. I've read book 6, but I didn't read the other ones. But it was fine. Like, I wasn't super confused or anything and really enjoyed it. Obviously, I got the next book. So those are the physical books on my TBR list. Now I am going to go to my audiobooks that I am currently listening to and about to be listening to. The first is The Fall of Legend by Megan March. I am almost done with this book. I'm 91% done with this book. I will finish it today, probably while I do dishes. I'm going to tell you who's reading it. It's read by a man and a woman. The genre is fiction and romance. So the narrators are Joe Arden and Aaron Mallon. It's about a New York socialite and a former boxing fighter that take an interest in each other, and you'll have to read it or listen to it to find out the rest. I like it so far. It's an adult book, by the way. Next up is book 2 to that, House of Scarlet by Megan March. Let me see if the same people are narrating it. Yes, Joe Arden and Aaron Mallon narrated that one as well. And I think there's a book 3. Let me double check. So, Fall of Legend. Yes, it's a trilogy. It's the Legend trilogy. And the third book is The Fight for Forever, is the third book of the trilogy. On Goodreads, The Fall of Legend has a 4.17 rating. The House of Scarlet has a 4.26 rating, and The Fight for Forever has a 4.32 rating. Okay, the next book that I have loaned out is Monsters Born and Made by Tanvi Burwa, and it says, you swim with monsters, these people cannot scare you. 16-year-old Coral and her brother Emmerich risk their lives to capture the monstrous Maristags that live in the Black Seas around their island. They have to, or else their family will starve. In an oceanic world swarming with vicious beasts, the ruling elite have indentured her family to provide the Maristags for the glory race, a daily chariot tournament reserved for the upper class. The winner receives gold and glory. The losers, if they're lucky, survive. When Coral fails to capture a Maristag for this year's race, her family can't afford medicine for her chronically ill little sister. Coral's only choice is to do what no one has ever dared, cheat her way into the glory race. But Coral must race against contenders who have trained their whole lives and have no intention of letting a low-caste girl steal their glory. And when riots break out, Coral has to do more than win the race. She'll have to stop the whole island from burning. And this book is narrated by Deepa Samuel. I have 5 books on hold with the audiobooks. So these are my TBR. I just haven't been able to loan them yet because I'm waiting for the copy to become available. That's one thing with the Libby app. It's like a virtual library, so you can only borrow what's there, what's available. On my audiobook TBR, or to be listened to, 9 Liars by Maureen Johnson, The Atlas Paradox. The reason I have this on my hold list is because I would like to listen to the audiobook while actually reading the copy, because it has taken me a very long time to read the Atlas 6, much longer than I would like to admit. I've been reading that book for months, partially because of my school and work schedule, partially because it's an adult fantasy and it's a little bit more challenging to read. Pages are kind of tall and there's more words on the pages. So, and most of the time when I start reading, I usually read at nighttime because of my schedule, and then I get sleepy, and so it's taken me a long time to get through the book because of that. And I've also spent a lot of time listening to audiobooks instead, so my time's split up between reading 2 physical books and listening to at least 1 audiobook, and then school and work. I have the Atlas 6 also on loan, on hold, but I might finish it before it comes available because it's saying 4 weeks, and I don't plan on keeping this book unread for another 4 weeks. So the Atlas 6 and the Atlas Paradox are both on my hold list, and then The Fight for Forever, which is book 3 of the Legend trilogy, is on hold, and it should be available in about 4 weeks, so that'll be really nice. And then Lake's Edge by Lyndall Clipstone is also on my hold list. It says I have about an 8-week wait on that. That's the end of my TBR for both my physical books and audiobooks. I do want to explain real quick a little bit more about the Libby app. The Libby app, you get the book or the ebook for 2 weeks. If you get a book at noon on a Friday, in 14 days post that Friday on noon, that book is going to be returned whether you're finished or not. You have the option. I'm losing my voice, you guys. I cannot do too many of these sit down videos because I lose my voice. You have the option, if it's available, if nobody else has placed it on hold, to renew the loan for an additional 2 weeks. If it is on hold by another person or several other people, you can put it on hold so that if you're not finished with it, whenever the other people get done with it, you'll be able to get it back. You can return a book early, so if you don't like it or if you finish it early, you'll be able to return it. Whoever's waiting in line, if there is someone waiting in line, will get it early that's how the Libby app works. I have been using it for several months. I have loaned out 79 books since March 2022. You can also make list. So if you don't want to necessarily put a book on hold just yet, but you do want to read it or listen to it in the future, you can create a tag for it. You can sort it by genre. You can sort it by the newest that's been uploaded to the Libby database. You can sort it by available now, so you don't have to always select books that are not currently available that you have to put on hold and wait for. There's also a little like notification on here that you can also get access to Canopy with your library card. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below if you want a follow-up on any of the books that I've mentioned that I am reading or planning on reading, or if you want a like what's in my home library of 37 books. I'll be happy to do that, but without synopses, because that would be a long video. I will have down below in the description box links to all of the books that I have mentioned, including the audiobooks, but there will be the links on Amazon, so you can see the Kindle, you can easily find the Kindle paperback, hardcover, all the options that the book would come in on Amazon on there. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye friends. I'm about to sit on you, cream. Ow! Jeez, woman.